All right, I'm thinking why I have the tractor home. I'm gonna do a little extra maintenance to it, being we have the front end out of it. And I just dropped the third member off at my buddy's automotive shop, Streamline Automotive in Big Lake, Minnesota. And he's gonna set the backlash on the gears for me. So the parts came into John Deere, I went and picked them up, and now he's going to set the gear set for me so I can put the front end back in. But I'm going to change the hydraulic oil out, and I'm also going to change this really large filter underneath the tractor that I have neglected. I forgot it was underneath there because there's a skid plate that covers it, and I had to take the skid plate out to get the little drive shaft out for the front. And then I discovered I have a hydraulic filter up there that I haven't changed since 500 hours was the last time I changed it. The tractor has 1,850 on it now, so it's been 1,350 hours. There is two big filters though. Here's the other filter right here. That one looks like it's marked 1414. So that one's only sitting at about 400 hours on it. Let me double check the hours on it. I could be off. I think it's 1850. Let's see what it says. Nope, 1799. So just one freckle short of 1800. So I picked up all the filters and hydraulic oil. Here's something I want to show you too. I got the air conditioning running in the camper. I have the camper sitting out here. And I've done all that solar to the camper. And I did more of it this spring. And I want to show you because we're sitting in a pretty good sunny spot right now. Here's what we got going on. Right now the AC is pulling. Between the AC and the two refrigerators, it's pulling 1,420 watts. The two fridges pull about 120 watts, so the AC is pulling 1,300 watts just on the AC. Battery's at 99% because it's been sitting in the sun all day, and we're even pulling in almost, well, look at that, just flicked up over 1,000 watts. So we're only losing this out of the battery right now. We're drawing 66 amps. So yeah, this is pretty cool. If I have the AC running and I'm sitting in full sun, it can run for a pretty long time. I can run it if I'm not getting any sun. So being we have 15,000 watt hours of battery storage on hand, so you can do the math. If this is what we're pulling, 1,400 watts, you can pretty much guesstimate in about 10 hours, if you're not taking in any solar, your batteries are going to be dead. So that's pretty good to be able to run the AC for 10 hours with no sun. So yeah, kind of stoked. I get pretty excited when I click the screen on and I see this kind of stuff going on. And I feel cold air coming from the vents. That's pretty awesome. I love it. I love it. That means all my hard work paid off. So some of you that watch my channel remember me struggling with my solar system last year. But all that's been fixed. The generator hooking up to it has been fixed. All that stuff's been fixed. So let's dig into the tractor now. Let's get some wrenches going and get some fluids draining on out. Let's make this thing drip some fluids. This is the drain, if I remember correctly. We'll start there. It seems like it could be a drain. Filter, and the guy at John Deere was so honest with me last night. He says, you know, you can just wash that one out. And I'm like, okay, don't talk me into it. That's what I'll do. Gosh, I hope this just doesn't go past this pan. I so hope. It is seven gallons of fluid. Oh, that went pretty good. That wasn't bad at all. Let's get her right up close to where she's going to drain into it. Right down the holes. Burp, 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 burp. Expensive fluid. Very expensive. Everything's expensive. Yeah, everything's expensive. I always write, so it looks like 11 of 19. God, I didn't think it had been that long since the last time. So that's how long the fluid's been in it. The hydraulic oil and this one big filter I remember I had, 1119 with 1414 on it. And then I got this other filter up here that I just recently discovered. I wrote 500 hours and I didn't write a date on it. Boy, I'd really be curious of what year it was when I had only 500 hours on this old girl. I'd really be curious. So, but yeah, I always like to write the hours and the date on the filters. I don't know, it's an easier way to keep track of what you did and when you did it. So, God, I hope I don't fill this pan. I think I'm gonna shut her right on down. I think we'll dump this pan into a bucket, then come back and resume what we're doing. I don't want to have to try and dump a really full pan into the bucket, because guaranteed I'm going to end up with half it on the floor. It's going to be spillage. I just know there'll be spillage. I know myself. I've been doing this long enough to know what I do when I go to drain a drain pan. I know what I'm capable of doing. And covering the floor with oil is one of the things I am damn capable of doing. I'm good at it too. And then I'm going to step in it. And then I'm going to track it one end to the other of the shop. I know myself. I know I will do it. So I think we'll just shut her right down like that. And let's take a brunt of it out of it. That's what we're going to do. We'll see. We'll see how much of this I can spill. Hopefully not half like I'm predicting myself is capable of doing. But I tell you what, I know I'm capable of spilling half. Yeah, look at that. Glurk, 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 glurk. Then I'll pull this thing off to slide that filter out and clean it. And I got a new gasket to be able to put it all back together. That was suggested by my John Deere guy. He says, if you're going to clean your filter that's in there, I would get a new gasket for back there. So good thinking on his part. So guarantee the old one's going to tear is probably why he suggested a new one. Let's get a wager going on whether if that's going to tear or not. Being I have a new one here, I bet it comes off clean as a whistle. If I didn't have a new one here, it would tear in like 5 spots. Then I'd have to go all the way back up to John Deere to get another one. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll let that drip on down. And then we'll dump this out. And I might even drop the engine oil. It isn't warm, but I can leave the plug out all night and just let her drain all night too. There's nothing, no harm in that. I have patience. Well, while that sits and drips, and drips, and drips, and drips, I went and rustled myself up another draining pan here. So we can drop this plug also. While that hydraulic's draining, we're gonna let the oil drain. Seems to make sense to me. You know, get 2 things done at once here, being they're both just gonna sit here and drip for quite some time. Yeah. Let that drain. And here's a bizarre fact. Is John Deere made the oil filter for these tractors smaller. That makes no sense. I recall this, the last oil filter I bought. I recall getting home and then calling them and said, this oil filter is a lot smaller than the one I got on here. And they said, yeah, they made them smaller. Oh, yeah. Oh, they did, huh? Well, that makes complete sense. Make an oil filter smaller on a diesel engine. Must work better. God, wondering what engineer convinced himself of that. Well, I did refer to my John Deere service manual, And it actually pointed out where the drain plug is at. I think where I drained it from is fine. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. But I'm gonna drain this out one more time, and then we'll put it underneath where the drain plug is, because I'm sure more is gonna come out because the drain plug is actually in a lower spot. Let's see if we can spill some of this first. Hopefully spill it right into the jug that it's going into. And it does say 6.8 gallons of fluid. Also recommends to put this same fluid in the front end. I did not know that. I thought the front end ran gear oil. Nope. Runs the same John Deere High Guard in the front differential. That's good to know, because we'll be putting fluid into one of them pretty soon. It's also telling me it's 4.5 quarts of oil to fill the engine. Yeah. Good thing I just came across that book that I've had ever since I bought the tractor. Amazing amount of information in that book. Love them kind of books that have all kinds of information to share. And I just shared it with you guys. In case you're changing your hydrostatic oil and engine oil on your tractor and you happen to be watching this video and you don't have a service manual, well, let me tell you what mine just said. I just did. I did. I got to get a rag. Engine oil's still draining, but it's almost done. Yeah. That other drain plug's way back. I don't know where the best place to come in from. I have my 3-point kind of down right now, and I don't want to crawl underneath the 3-point to try and get to the drain plug. So I don't know. I'm going to be kind of blocking you guys for a second, but trust me, there's a drain plug back here. It's right back in here. Get a good shot of the back of my head. I'll get this loose and I'll get out of the way. Yeah. Can you see what I'm doing back here? It's this. It's right. Gosh, there's quite a bit in there, and there's a magnet on this one. Oh, you know what? Oh, here, look at me swimming in the hydraulic oil, because you know why? I forgot to take the plugs out. I knew I was going to create a mess of here eventually. Whew, that was a close one. Oh, now I got hydraulic oil all over my hands. And the rag I cleaned up the mess with is laying on the floor over there still, so I don't have it anywhere near me. So here I go. Hydraulic oil going everywhere, all over the floor. I knew I was going to do this eventually. God, how do I forget such a stupid thing? Ah, man. I suck at doing this. One thing I don't suck at is making a mess. Damn good at that. Gosh dang it. All right, well, we'll let that drip dry now. Now we're done. Hydraulic oil all over my hands. I think we can plug this engine up. I think we can plug up the engine. And yeah, we'll come back to that. We'll plug that up. We'll get the filter off. We'll dump 4.5 quarts of my favorite oil in it. All right, let's get this filter off here. Oh, I ain't got the right size band clamp wrench. I just need to get a couple filter wrenches, you know. The guy really needs a couple of them. We'll just go right into this, because my eyeballs were telling me I was going to miss the pan. So we'll just go right to this. I always have Folger cans around. I drink coffee, so these Folger cans work for everything. So we'll just do that. We'll let that drip out some more. Let me get my filter all hour metered up. $17.99, or we can just do an even $1,800 on the filter, make math a lot easier. And we'll put today's date. All right, a little film of oil on the filter. I cleaned around here, like wiping the kid's nose for him. Yeah, cleaned all that. And put the filter back on. We'll snug it down. Let's wipe the filter clean. So we did it. Let me get my paint pen. That's what I like to use. So we're just going to go 1800. 1800. Here's that serviceable filter I pulled out of the transmission. And mine was all gunked with, like, see that right there? The whole bottom part right here was gunked with this. It almost seems like paint. I don't know. But I just cleaned it in my parts washer. Gave a nice little cleaning. Now I'm going to let it kind of dry here on the bench, I guess, before it goes back in. I'll just let all that parts washer solvent come off of it. It did say to just use a mild solvent, and that seemed to do it. Here's that new John Deere gasket. There's the part number, in case you're looking for the part number for this. And that goes on that cone. I got some new steering ball joint ends, or not ball joint, tie rod end rubber boots, because mine were broken or ripped. Here, I'll show you. See how mine are ripped right here? Ripped, so lets the grease out, lets the dirt in, the water, so I bought some new ones. Let's move this. Let's get this serviceable screen put back in. I think I did a pretty impressive shop repair on my finger here that got in the way earlier. I mean, that's pretty gnarly. Yeah, I mean, the razor blade had a little run in. Or should I say my finger in the razor blade had a little run in. Yeah, boy, I tell ya, I haven't taken a chunk off a finger like that in a long time. Good thing it doesn't happen very often, because it kind of stung just a snitch. All right. Yeah, that ain't so bad. I can't see what I'm doing. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Oh, that's going in. Oh, of course, it's going in. I'm going to set a slide underneath the old tractor a little bit further. I tell you, I sure like these ratchets that swivel and stuff like this. They are handy. I'll take a gander and look in the book. That would look like 7 gallons of fluid back in it. I'll take a look. Well, here's what I went right ahead and did. I drove right to the O'Reilly store near me and bought me a longer funnel. The cab kind of makes it a little difficult to pour fluid down in here, so I went and got a new funnel for this. Hopefully I don't spill so much on the floor. Maybe I'll look for my drain pan here and stick that kind of under where I'm going to be filling. That way any drips can go right into the drain pan. There, that should hit the pan. All right, we'll start off with 5 gallons. We'll just whoop this right in there. Hopefully with not a terrible amount of spillage. Well, that doesn't seem. And the other thing I'm doing is changing out these 2 couplers. I've had a leak going on back here, and it's about driving me batshit crazy at this point. I can't take it any longer. So when I was at the Deere store the other day, I bought some new nipples for back here, coupler. And I'm also going to look inside my female and make sure that the rubber O-ring is okay in there. But it seems like when these ones are plugged in for the grapple bucket, it always leaks. It drips. It makes just an god-awful mess. But when I have the ones plugged in for the mower deck ram, these ones never leak. But these ones I did not buy from John Deere. These are from John Deere. And these are from John Deere. So, maybe these don't match up. Oh, I'm getting my bandage all dirty now. It's got leaked through anyways. It might be time for a change out. But these are from John Deere now. Maybe they made in better than what these ones are. I don't know. That's what I've always suspected. But when I was at John Deere the other day and I noticed the females had an O-ring back in there, I'm like, you know, maybe I'll double check my O-rings and make sure there's not a nick or something in one of them is why they leak. But it's so frustrating. It leaves a puddle of oil everywhere this thing gets parked. It leaves something just like that on the ground. And I'm fixing it. I'm taking care of that. I can't deal with it anymore. It's nonsense. I think that's going to conclude the service on the transmission on my 4410. We changed the oil and we changed all the hydraulic oil on the transmission. And we changed the two filters and serviced the cleanable filter. So I did dump in the recommended 6.8 gallons of high guard fluid into the rear end. My front end is still not complete so that I can get the front together, and I think I'll do a whole nother video of actually putting the whole front end back together. I have it sitting right here on my bench. Everything is cleaned and ready to go. Once I get the third member back with the gear set reset, I will reinstall. I think I'm going to reinstall the housing with the third member first, and then I will put those on separately. It gets really heavy and awkward to move with them on there. I think it'll be easier to put them on afterwards. With the side panels off, I think I'll have plenty of room to work in here. I think it'll be easier to tighten up in the tractor. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.